About prose and poetry of Liana Margiva. Our Liana is one of the sweetest souls that the Russian bear sent us, from the land of so many immortal authors. It is a privilege to count her as one of our dear friends. George Mateos. I am impressed with your writing style. You do have the writing boiling vein. Your imagery and lexis mingle with the essence of communication that reach the readers from the first line, be it prose or poetry. Your association with the master translator Anatol Kardyukov will open the doors of the English readers for your literary works, and millions like myself will enjoy them. Some writers have the tools to create great masterpieces. You, author-poet Liana Margiva, have the tools, the soul, and the scent to produce wonders. You write with a beautiful and enjoyable style. Every time I read your short stories and poetry, I think that the great master Mikhail Bulgakov would be proud to live in your era. When Moon was younger. Andrei Emmanuel Ben Davi Ben Yehu. There is something always in the heart of your poems that reverberates in my mind and spirit as crystal bells. Your poetic talent is vibrantly creative and understandable, a balance that few can lay claim to. Your gift is surely God-given, old man. Your poetry, to me, is like a beautiful bird song. Don't say. Richard Cederberg. If one wants to learn how to write, all one has to do is to read the creations of this gifted author Liana Margiva. This story, Crazy, is a true flower from a scented literary garden. David Livingstone. Crazy, a story of life and passion. A love story that kept my eyes opened from the first line to the end. I congratulate the author of Crazy for her magnetic pen and for her unique writing style. Leonard Gosley. This is the most eloquent love story I have ever read. Crazy. Deborah Bow. A classical beauty. Love reaches the deepest recesses of the mind and spirit, and your poem reaches out and touches hearts with great passion. You have penned an opera for anguish and among the rich treasure of emotion. Clouds. Picasso, with pen and ink. I wish I knew. John Willie. God has blessed you with such a magnificent gift. You write so beautifully. This is one of the most beautiful poems I have been privileged to read. Your flowing words moved me deeply. Dedicated to Lonely Wanderer. Bill Grimes, Jr. You write poetry of love and loss that reminds me of sadness in that epic story Dr. Zhivago. Your poems are classic. The translation is legendary, a classic metaphor for lost love dying in the snow. It took a genius to write it and a genius to translate it. I'm so glad that Anatol did, so we can read it and understand what classic poetry is about. Rose in the Snow. Ronald Hull. A classic. You are a gifted poet. You write from your heart, and your readers feel the force in their hearts. I don't know when I've ever read a poem that affected me more deeply. I really have no words to describe the soulful beauty of this writer. To George Mateos, this is one of the most beautiful tributes I've ever read. I've never read anything more beautiful or deeply affecting. Incredible work. Drifter. You write so beautifully. Your work is impressive and stunning. This poem is a work of brilliance, deeply emotive and beautifully expressed from your heart. The Moon. Breathtaking beauty. Love. La Belle Rouge, poetess of the heart. Brilliance shines within your words. You write so masterfully, gorgeous. Poet. You have a rare gift of writing stories. A serviceable villain. Your stories grab the soul of your readers. Regis Offrey. What a great poet you are. I love your work, especially when you write of emotions, which you do so outstandingly. Bernice Lakota. You write so beautifully and have so much talent. You are an artist who paints beautifully with her words. Your words and the way you put them together is pure art. You write with such beauty, even when writing about sadness. You always touch my heart with your beautiful writing. Dawn Anderson. You are an extremely talented writer. Your words and passion are so hauntingly beautiful. An absolute masterpiece, old man. You write with such power and such uniqueness. Oh, how I love the fullness of words and sentiment in this beautiful and heartfelt piece of writing. It moved me profoundly. Love. Diana Wiles. Truly blessed verses from your golden pen. Red bird, she loved me. Marianne Bittinger. Your work is wonderful. The vivid language and images stay on the mind long after the reading ends. Barbara Henry. I am not a believer, but this poem, Pray Linger, Soul, touched a part of me that has never been touched. Never read a better poem about that sometimes elusive thing called love. Love. Jerry Bolton. Your poetry is written with so much passion, it's brilliant. Solitude. Reading your beautiful words left me with a haunting sadness. Carol Mathis. One of the most inspiring tributes I have ever read. Your poetic gift is amazing, like the man you write about. The poet of sad words. Don Juan Amante. Your poetry is stellar, lunar, out of this world. The moon. Beauty and sadness and wisdom in your poetry as ever. Kenny Baez. I love your words. They are born from suffering. Paul McCann. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Liana Margiva. Masterful. Shakespeare's Sonnets by Liana Margiva is a masterpiece of woeful sophistry. Even Bill himself would be proud. Richard Ory. Your verses flow and tell a story of hurt and being unloved. Excellent. D. Vegas. You are very gifted with putting your feelings into words. Judith Pleasant. Your beautiful, touching, and sometimes sad poetry talks from a heart that has been shaped under a vast land of great skies, expanses, and emotions. Michael Guy. You are awesome, masterfully brilliant, the echo of the emptiness of a lonely soul searching the night sky. Elizabeth Price. You have written the most beautiful poetry, and to know that love eternal would be a star in heaven gives one hope that we yet might find love when it is lost. Fog. You write of wind, and I travel in your words, most excellent poetry of richness. The Wind. John Lecco. Your writing has always amazed me. Your poetry is one I wait for with anticipation, for I enjoy each word you scribe. You write the most beautiful poetic words. Your words make heavenly lines, creating verses that accompany the corner edges of true love, that spill between the shadows and a broken heart. I just love your writing style. William Bonilla. This is glorious, heart-reaching poetry. You are a brilliant writer. Don't look into my eyes. So tragic and beautiful. Your wonderful poem exposes many veiled emotions in the reader's heart. Drifter. Christine Sen. You write with the hands of your soul. This is a romantic, majestic poem. The Moon. Dixie Dawn Michelle. A brilliant piece by a brilliant mind. Dedicated to Lonely Wanderer. Milton Handfield. You write with such beauty, allurement, and intrigue. I really enjoy the style in which your heart expresses itself, and you. Poetess of the Soul, Sheila G. You are such a grand poetess. The beauty in this romantic writing swept me away in the wonder of your words and what your heart professed. To George Mateos, a finer and or more loving tribute shall never exist than this one, so sincere and heartfelt to our dear friend George. Very sad, but beautiful writing in the old classic English style. Lonely Heart. Amour Sabor. Totally mesmerizing poetry. You have love in your heart and soul. I enjoy reading your poetry. You are an amazing writer and always inspiring no matter what your subject matter is. Amber Moonstone. This is a piece of treasure. Shakespeare's Sonnets. David Young. You have a way of writing about loss with bittersweet irony and such accomplished lyricism. The tragedy of love lost with so many beautiful, almost baroque images. The Moon. Your poems often turn the most terrible pain into a refuge that is almost sweet. Brilliant sadness, you put endless suffering on a stage to turn it into art. Poor heart. Axillea mu. A masterpiece, old man. What an extraordinary poetic creation. Every verse is treasure, if I fail to say it. C. McGovern Bowen. Your words are filled with a sadness that touches my soul. You are unique and so gifted. Your poems are written like no other I know. They have such depth and touch one's soul with their message and purity. You are a poet's poet. Shakespeare would be honored if he could read this poem. Shakespeare's sonnets. Your writings have a unique style, which draws the reader in and holds them under the spell of the poem. Red Bird. Mary Patterson. Your words are shovels, which reach and dig into a reader's heart, mind, and soul. You have described well the empty, lonely heart. Your poetry is excellent. J.M.S. Bell. This piece was not written with pen. It was written with the quill of the heart. Brilliant piece. This is the most beautiful tribute I have ever read. The Poet of Sad Words. This poem left me breathless. Heart-stirring piece, so powerful and so beautiful. Brilliant piece, old man. I am speechless. This is so beautiful. Your words are filled with wisdom, truly unique, inspiring writing. Shadow. Breathtaking beauty. Your words are truly inspiring. This piece brought peace to my soul as my eyes danced from one stanza to the next. Truly brilliant verse. The Moon. Beautiful. A true masterpiece and an outstanding tribute to Shakespeare. Morning Star. You put into words what many feel in their souls but can't describe. Don't weep, my guitar. L. Figgins. Every time I think you have outdone yourself, you write yet another poem even more compelling. You are an outstanding poet, and I am proud to be able to read your words. Mickey Peluso. If perfection is possible, you've achieved it in this moving, beautifully written poem. Your Drifter is another masterpiece. You teach us that there can be beauty in sadness. Jean Williamson. One of the best tributes I have ever had the privilege to read. The Poet of Sad Words. This is beyond wonderful. This is one of the finest tributes to a loved one that I have ever read. Almost too stunned to comment. This is beyond wonderful. Terribly sad, but at the same time, there is so much love and understanding that I can't imagine anyone reading it without feeling their heart beat faster. Compassion and talent and art have come together to tell us a story that is both as old as the ages and as new as tomorrow. Old Man. Phyllis Jean Green. Your words are like a concerto. Tony Nerone. Words like tears. Elizabeth Russo. The writing is genius in this eulogy. Reminds me of a short story by Tolstoy and Chekhov. In so much sadness comes a work that is a masterpiece. Autumn Morning. Has the depth and substance and as profound as Chekhov. Old Man. Andy Turner. Liana. Your poetic voice is so utterly outstanding. This is a heart-yearning writing of passions, love, of memories faded into an undisturbed rest. Portrait. Victorious poetry and voices of muse. Your outstanding poem is a glimpse of paradise. Shadow. E.T. Waldron. Bravo! Excellent and powerful writing. Dearest poet, your poem, Uncle Tom's Cabin, is extraordinarily well expressed. Gwen Dickerson. Any poet that can hold the interest, paint the picture, and create the intense feeling of being there is a master poet. And you are. This was spectacular. Death of a Stranger. Bonnie M. You have such a gift of putting feelings in words that deeply touch my heart. I just love this poem. Autumn Morning. Z. McClure. Top-of-the-line tribute to the greatest bard of all time. Shakespeare's sonnets. This story of unfulfilled love is a heartbreaker and leaves the reader more in touch with her own feelings. Great piece. Crazy. K.G. Cummings. Absolutely beautiful. Music to the ears are your words. Music. Rose Rideout. Masterful strokes of passion, romance and wonder, sadness and regret. Red Bird. Felix Perry. Probably one of the best poems I have read in my lifetime. Drifter. I love the mystique of rhyme in how you use the same word with different meaning exercised in the sentence. That is talent. Don't say. Your poem is masterpiece. The Wind. George Carroll. You are a true poet at heart. Tell me you love me. Shirley Long. Your poetry tugs at hearts. It makes us come alive. Blue Eyes. John Domino. The eternal story, told in classic phrase, carries its sweet truth where moon shadows true. Wait, Moon. W. Asher.